Hello, my lovely, and welcome to another episode of your Coaching Corner here on YouTube. Today, we're going to dive into a topic that is very near and dear to my heart because this has been, I would say, probably the most profound learning that I've had in my growth journey, from losing over 100 pounds to starting and scaling 3 businesses, to saving my failing marriage, to the woman that I've become in the process of all of that. This has been the thing that has been, like I said, my most profound learning, but it's also now the thing that is the foundation of my teaching, I would say. And that is that your next level is going to require a new self-image. What I mean by that is that you basically can't elevate to where it is that you want to go, that extraordinary quality of life that you want to live, carrying around the same bullshit from your past that has got you here, right? And not that here is a bad place. Here is a wonderful place. Here is exactly where you are, being where your feet are. But here obviously isn't where you want to stay, because you wouldn't be here listening to me talk to you right now. So understanding that in order to really grasp everything that you were meant for in this life, you're going to have to start seeing yourself differently, and you're going to have to start relating to yourself differently. And I'm going to break it down how we go about doing that and why that's important. Because I really want you to get this message today and be able to run with it and use it to catapult yourself into new belief systems, new behaviors, and so new results that you see in your life. My name is Sabrina Militello, if we don't know each other super well. I am a coach and founder of Empower Her Coaching. And like I said, my ethos, the foundation of my coaching methodology as well as my coaching practice, is to empower you to believe in bigger and better for yourself, to believe that you are capable of so much more than maybe your past has told you you are, and to be able to transcend that old broken messaging so that you truly can step out and create the extraordinary quality of life that you were meant to live. And I truly believe that you were meant to live. So let's get into it. There's certain beliefs that you have about yourself, correct? I think there's no argument you can have with me about that. There's certain things you believe to be true about yourself. And if you're honest and you take a look around, you do a little bit of a self-audit, you can identify how those beliefs have created the reality that you currently exist in. Can you do that? Sometimes I have pushback from people about that, because maybe your current circumstances aren't where you want them to be. Maybe you're dealing with struggles in your life right now, or certain situations that maybe are not of your own creation. But I hope you understand that how you deal with those things, how you navigate your way through those things, the boundaries you do or don't have, the behaviors that you do or don't tolerate, those all play a role in the life that you're living. And if you want things to be different, you have to go and do different things. If you want something to change, there has to be change in the things that you do daily, and also the belief systems and the ways of thinking that you have. So maybe that's where you pause this video and you just take stock right now. Where is it, I want you to ask yourself this question, where is it that my current belief systems and ways of being, ways of thinking, ways of behaving are manifesting the reality that I currently live in? And the reason why doing that kind of self-assessment is important is because if the current reality that you're living in is not the one that you want to continue into your future, then the only place you can look for something to change is right here. And that shouldn't be a moment for you to resist. That shouldn't be something for you to be yeah-butting about. That should be a moment where you can take full ownership and say, yeah, I can see where it is that I need to be different, respond different, behave different, believe different in order for my life to be different. Because if the buck stops with you, then change is possible. If you're looking out there for all the other people or the other organizations or the other governments or the other situations that are to blame or that are responsible, then you're going to continue looking. Nothing is going to change because you can't control anything out there. So I want this to be a practice for you of radical ownership. And that should make you sometimes want to punch me in the face. But truly, that should make you be like, okay, yeah, I see that. And that should make you feel hopeful, because if the buck stops with you, you can change you. You can control you. You can shift you. It's possible here. Looking outside of yourself for change to come, you're at the mercy of some other outside forces. Can you see that? And just a side note on that, if you did have a moment where you were like, yeah, but I want to remind you, and I can't remember who it was that said this, but they said, what you resist persists. Say that again. What you resist persists. Another way of saying it, and this is one of my all-time favorite quotes, is if you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. So really be mindful about what it is that you're yeah-butting about, especially if that reality is not one that you want to continue to manifest and live out, all right? So moving on from that, your self-image, the way you see yourself, the way you perceive yourself, the view that you have of yourself, the kind of attitude or perspective you have of the woman that you are, that is going to have to change in order for you to step into your next level. Because everything that has come up until now is based on things from the past, right? Maybe you've got some tragedies, maybe you've got some traumas, maybe you've got some past hurts that have informed how you see yourself today. Can you recognize that those are limits to your growth? Can you be honest with yourself enough to accept that those continuing to carry those things from the past is limiting how much further you can go, right? And so when I say your next level requires a new self-image, what I'm really talking about is that how you see yourself, how you relate to yourself has to change. This isn't about, having a makeover and doing a glow up so that you can look different for other people and change how other people view you. No, this starts right here. How you perceive yourself, self-image, not other image, not society image, not them image, self-image. How are you perceiving yourself? Because I can guarantee you that if freedom, a life of unlimited abundance, is something that you want to call in, you cannot do that if you still see yourself as the broken little girl who had to go through some things, the broken teenager who had to survive some things, the broken woman who feels less than in herself because of what they said about you or what they taught you about you. If you're truly wanting to step into an extraordinary quality of life that is unlimited abundance, financial, health, relationship, love, joy, vibrancy, all of that, if that's what you want to call forward, however that looks in the minutiae for you, you cannot achieve that if you're still operating and seeing yourself as less than. Can you see what I'm saying? So here's another exercise for you to do. How are you currently viewing yourself? Are you still carrying around those old stories? Are you still believing those old teachings, learnings, the things they said or taught you about you? And is that directing the actions that you take today? I want you to answer that question for yourself. And I'm going to say something, and I preempt it because I always hope that you know everything that I say comes from a very compassionate heart, a very compassionate place. I have a very empathetic nature and soul, but I also have a very no-nonsense approach to my coaching because I'm not here to watch you continue to struggle, okay? So what I'm about to say may sound harsh, but I want you to really consider the validity of it. Are you addicted to your sad story? And it wasn't me that first posed that question. Trent Shelton says that a lot, or has said it a lot in a number of his teachings that he puts out into the world, that too many people are addicted to their sad story. Are you similarly addicted to your sad story? And what I mean by that is that thing that happened, the way they treated you, the circumstances that were not underneath your control, the traumas, the tragedies, and all of the emotion that you wrapped into that, the self-identity that you wrapped into that, is it all part of who you are? Is it all part of an excuse you live in to validate not putting yourself out there, not going for your dream, not doing the hard work that is going to be necessary for you to call in that unlimited abundance that you want for your life? It's easier to hold on to that because nothing has to change in order for you to hold on to that. Can you see what I'm saying? You get to continue to operate just as you always have done, holding on to the hurt, holding on to the pain. You're perfectly justified. Nobody can argue with that. I'm going to carry this because it's a protection of sorts. But if you recognize that that story is limiting your ability, if you're courageous enough to admit that that story is limiting you, limiting what is possible for you, limiting what is possible for your future, then it's time that you turn the page. And that's not to negate anything that happened. I hope you know me well enough by now. If you've been here for a second, you know my story. I don't come from a once upon a time kind of childhood. I've had things pretty rough and sketchy, and I've had to really claw and crawl my way through fire and pain and hurt and sacrifice and all the negative emotions to get my life to where it is now, where I do feel as if abundance is a part of my story. My intention is to create unlimited abundance in my life. It is, and the more I live in that, the more it manifests and it becomes real for me. But that wasn't where I came from. That's not the story that I originate from. That's not where my story began. So I hope that you can hear what I'm saying, understanding that I know what it is to be crushed by the weight of all that stuff. The thing that I'm proposing to you is, one, you are strong enough to extricate yourself from underneath all of that. And two, it is going to be necessary for you to extricate yourself from underneath all of that to move into the life that you want to live. And you can do this. I don't care if you're listening to this and you're 55 years old and you're like, well, this is just how I am. If it doesn't feel good in your soul to be, this is just how I am, it's not too late for you to go and do something different. Heal. Work on it, transform, put yourself in the uncomfortable position to get out from underneath that weight. It's not too late for you. I wish somebody had told me this when I was 18, when I was 3 years on from the really, really hard period of my life. I wish somebody had reiterated it to me when I was 21. I wish somebody had said it to me again when I was 27, just marrying the love of my life. I wish somebody had said it again to me when I was 28, moving to a completely different continent from my entire family and starting my life from scratch. I wish somebody had said it to me when I was 35, going through again a really, really hard period of my life. I wish this message had been available to me at these various points of my life, because it is never too late to hear that you are capable of removing yourself from everything that has kept you stuck up until now. And it is going to be necessary for you to do that in order to call forward all the things that you want your life to be. And it's possible. Okay? So your next level is going to require a new self-image, and that means how you see yourself. You've got to turn the page on that sad story and start writing something new for yourself. Start believing and acting and thinking new for yourself. What do you want to be? Who do you want to be? What kind of woman do you want to be? Ask yourself those questions. Really get into the nitty-gritty of this. Ask yourself, who do I want to be? What do I want my life to be? What do I want my life to stand for? What are my values? What is the vision that I have for my future and everything that I want to create in this one beautiful life that I get to live? What do I want that to be? And then everything that you do from here on out has to be guided by those answers. Wayne Dwyer said, contemplate yourself surrounded by the conditions you wish to create. Let me say it again. Contemplate yourself surrounded by the conditions you wish to produce. It's a quote from Wayne Dyer. And it really is that permission slip to imagine. Imagine the conditions that you want to produce. Imagine what you want your life to look like, feel like, be like. And then every action from here is guided by that contemplation. I really hope you do this exercise for yourself and you do this work of shifting your self-image, how you perceive yourself to be. Because this is, like I said at the beginning, this is the profound shift that has changed how I see myself. It's changed what my life looks like, and it is the foundational piece of my coaching methodology and practice, is to help women really grasp a new reality of their self-perception so that they can go out and create a new reality in their life. I hope this served you. Please share with me what your biggest takeaway was. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Even consider subscribing to the channel. That would make me so happy and I would love it. Click on the link below. I'm going to attach a link to a freebie that I have for you that's going to help you dive a little bit deeper into this subject matter and help you kind of fan the flames of what that vision could be so that you can start to see more of what could be possible, and that will help you kind of guide your actions moving forward from here. All right, until next time, have a great day.